Good morning, hoodies. Welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. This is your girl Tanya, aka the Hood Table. And for those of you who are in Omaha or North Omaha, reside here, live here, used to live here, grew up here, there was recently a news story that happened regarding the North Omaha Spencer project that has been sitting abandoned for a long time. And I even had drove past there in July of this year during, the week of Omaha days and did a little recording um, because I just couldn't believe that the projects were still there, and not only there, but abandoned, uh, windows busted out, doors broken in. I mean, the conditions are horrible. There's been fires there, people living there. And so now the city is like demanding that, you know, the community come together to get the city to get this demolition taken care of. So we're going to be tuning into a press conference here shortly. And again, this is some local Omaha news. Y'all know this is the Hood Table, and we review and do commentary on everything from the hood to the White House. So just for those who do not live in our area, I'm just letting y'all know offhand, this is a local news coverage, but you're free to, still tune in. But I'm going to show you guys real quick the video footage that I did back in July. Again, regarding this area of North Omaha, where one of the last projects are. And they should have been torn down. But again, when I drove past there during Omaha days this past July, I was like, what? They still up? This don't make no doggone sense. But anyway, let me make sure the volume is all the way up so you guys can hear really good. Here we go. Now, what we have right here is the East Side project of Spencer. And you see, they about to be turned down too. Okay, yeah. There's the projects. Let me zoom out. There's the mailboxes for the people that used to live in the projects. This is the East Side projects of Spencer. These mugs, there's probably people living in them. I know it's probably people living in them. They got all the windows out and everything. But anyway, okay, so that was the footage that I did back in again July of the area of the Spencer projects, one of the last projects that is still standing in North Omaha. And we couldn't really understand, or the community doesn't really understand why they haven't been torn down yet, and which is why it has hit the news recently. So this other story I want to share with you right here. This is my friend Sherman Wells. And on this video, we're going to hear him discussing the situation as he's walking through the projects. So let me go ahead and show that real quick.
will not find this no place else in the city. Nowhere else in the city. But somehow North Omaha is supposed to be okay with this abandoned building wide open. It's totally unacceptable. And it's time for the city and everybody to be responsible and make sure this building and this part of the projects is demoed. It's time. It's overdue.
The whole point now is for us to come together as a community to demand. We're not waiting no time for this. This needs to be tore down like yesterday. You can see one of the units done been on fire. So who's to know if somebody's get trapped in there? It's just a place to manifest trouble, I think so.
I've sent emails to various different people in the city and absolutely nothing from the city. Just close a blind eye and a blind ear that this even exists. And it's in the middle of a residential neighborhood with children playing in around this.
Someone from OHA did meet me down here because they told me it was a gate up, but it really was not a gate up. And so when we met down here, I was told that it would be demolitioned. And here we are now, that it's still not done.
Well, how can you build a multi-million-dollar complex just a few feet away from here on the other side, and then drive past this every day, working with the city, and then act like you don't see this. The two don't go hand in hand. The west side Spencer development, and then this is the east side of the Spencer development. It's all the same, and
No accountability at all.
no accountability.
Even though the community complained, no accountability, a lack of respect for us as North Omaha people. It's terrible.
Nobody even tried to board this up. Even boarding it up would be some type of level of action. It's not boarded up, it's wide open. And at this point, we're not looking to have it boarded up because since it's been like this for the last 4 years and progressively gotten worse, we're looking for the demolishment plan. It's time to tear it down.
Also, we want to know, what is this site going to become after it is knocked down? Is it going to be a chance for the community to decide what the space is going to look like? Since you'll have a new development over here, what is this going to be, just an empty field? It should be something that's going to cater to the community. They wouldn't do this in West Omaha. I just know they wouldn't. I don't know if you know her, the beautiful Miss Celeste Butler. She has started complaining about it in like May, I think she said. And when I first seen it, the very first time, it was early in the summer. We thinking it was gonna get demolished. And then when I was looking for Mr. Blake again in August, I came across it again because our search took us over the bridge, and when we got there, it's wide open, and we thinking like, man, we got to go through each one of these now because it's a possibility he could have wandered in here. And what I found when I got in there was drug needles. One of the units had been set on fire. A lot of gunshots into the walls, mattresses, just different stuff, dead animals. You can definitely tell people been living in there and kids been playing in there. A whole lot of broken glass. And man, yeah. Hey, Gay. Hey, Kendall. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And so my initial thing was to contact the people in charge. And so that's what we did. But see, sometimes when you go through the necessary channels, they still don't want to listen. Yeah, Bree, she said, did you see they started working on the demo yet? It's supposed to start today. Pete Festerson, since he's acting as the mayor, he said he would sign right off on it, and they wanted to get it started today. But yeah, so sometimes when you go through the proper channels, though, they still won't listen because, for one, you're an individual, and Miss Celeste, she was doing a lot of complaining herself too, and she's an individual. So I guess the assumption was, these two people complaining, it ain't nothing. So then what ended up happening was we got contacted by Omaha World Herald, and they did a story on it. When they got to asking around who was talking about it or whatever, they did a story on it. And this dude put the story on the front page of the World Herald. So then that caused a big reaction. And I say reaction because now it's like, oh, we was going to do this and we was going to do that. But none of that stuff happened. So here, let me show y'all some of this stuff, just in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, share my screen real quick. She said, OHA doesn't do anything. My granddaughter lives in South Projects. They are horrible. You know, when I drove past there during Omaha days this past summer, I was wondering why they were still up. Yeah. Y'all know sometimes I do try my best to stay professional, but I'm still a comedian too at times. So I'm gonna show y'all something funny I did, but I said to this lady it was too funny. I laughed at myself. But all right, so here's this video. Let me remove myself real quick so y'all can see this. Okay. So this was when I went down there in August and I was looking for Mr. Blake. And we had to go through each unit. This is how it looked then.
And when he's referring to Mr. Blake, there has been an elderly man missing for months and months in our community. So lately, people and community and volunteers have been searching all over the city for him. And being that those projects have been left abandoned for some time, some people in our community, including Sherman, went there and they checked every single project unit to make sure he wasn't in there.
Was the initial video that I shot down there. And so then I met up with Sal from OHA. I met up with I sent the message to Juanita Johnson. And I even talked to Congressman Don Bacon. His idea right away was he was going to send somebody, his own group of people, to just come down and put a fence around it. But then when I met up with OHA, they was basically like, oh, we're going to have this demolished. So I wouldn't, basically wasn't no point in putting a fence if you just going to tear it down. Well, they didn't tear it down. They left it up. And then, so we did the story. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see the actual video from the World Herald. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it real quick. And then the reaction. See, everything is about reaction with these people. They wasn't going to do nothing. But when they see people saying something, then you get a reaction, okay? Hold on one second.
And that's usually how it works in the hood. Their cares are not our cares, so we're not always taken seriously.
Okay, you said they got no sound. Thank you for letting me know that. Give me 1 second. Should have brought in the sound. I don't know why I did. Here we go. All right, tell me, can you hear it now?
You will not find this no place else in the city. Nowhere else in the city. But somehow North Omaha is supposed to be okay with this abandoned building wide open. It's totally unacceptable. And it's time for the city and everybody to be responsible and make sure this building and this part of the project is demoed. It's time. It's overdue.
The whole point now is for us to come together as a community to demand. We're not waiting no time for this. This needs to be tore down like yesterday. You can see one of the units done been on fire. So who's to know if somebody's get trapped in there? It's just a place to manifest trouble, I think so.
I've sent emails to various different people in the city and absolutely nothing from the city. Just closed a blind eye and a blind ear that this even exists. And it's in the middle of a residential neighborhood with children playing in around this.
someone from OHA did meet me down here because they told me it was a gate up, but it really was not a gate up. And so when we met down here, I was told that it would be demolitioned. And here we are now, that it's still not done.
Well, how can you build a multi-million dollar complex just a few feet away from here on the other side, and then drive past this every day, working with the city, and then act like you don't see this? The two don't go hand in hand. The west side Spencer development, and then this is the east side of the Spencer development. It's all the same, and
no accountability at all.
No accountability.
Even though the community complained, no accountability, a lack of respect for us as North Omaha people. It's terrible.
Nobody even tried to board this up. Even boarding it up would be some type of level of action. It's not boarded up, it's wide open. And at this point, we're not looking to have it boarded up because since it's been like this for the last 4 years and progressively gotten worse, we're looking for the demolishment plan. It's time to tear it down.
Also, we want to know, what is this site going to become after it is knocked down? Is it going to be a chance for the community to decide what the space is going to look like? Since you'll have a new development over here, what is this going to be, just an empty field? It should be something that's going to cater to the community. They wouldn't do this in West Omaha. I just know they wouldn't.
They sure wouldn't. Not in West Omaha.
So yeah, after that came out, that's when everybody started scrambling around. And I do have Miss Celeste here with me. I'm gonna bring her on the stage. She's driving, so here she come here real quick. Miss Celeste, can you hear me? Your mic is muted. There we go. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm doing good. First and foremost, definitely the team up was real. I love working with you. I made that post yesterday about how when you was friends with my mom and you held me as a baby, then we on the front page of the World Herald together. It's just yeah, it was beautiful.
To my eyes.
Yeah,
it's a full circle experience.
Definitely a full circle experience. So I was just getting into the history of the complaints and when did you first start complaining about Spencer East? So if you want, I know you got receipts and stuff, but you're driving, but just if you want to give the people a timeline of when you started reaching out to the city or anybody about the Spencer East.
It was 2020, approximately June, July, somewhere around in there. And that particular trail was under construction, but I walk every day, so I didn't care whether there's a trail or not. I'll just put my foot on the ground and start walking. And it just so happened the trail is there. I had men following me and trying to ask me if I wanted to ride or trying to, get me to get in their vehicle and that type of stuff. So I reached out to Manny Cook at Sparks and had a conversation with him. I had got a chance to take some video and take some pictures of some of the cars that were following me. We have a huge sex trafficking in Omaha. It's right on that. We're surrounded by all the other cities. So once they grab people in Omaha, you could be in another city before you can blink an eye.
Yep.
Even across the bridge to Council Bluffs.
Yep.
And the police department knows that. So I reached out to Manny. Manny was proactive and connected me with key station at the city through the email contacts and everything, and trying to get something established so they can start being proactive and putting a plan together for a safe trail. I told them, I'm like, this is not about how much concrete y'all can lay in the community, because I don't know if everybody knows it now, this trail is going to link to the big park downtown eventually. So that lets you know what's really coming to North Omaha.
Right.
They're leaving them houses out in West Omaha. They're positioning themselves to take over North Omaha. So with that level of mobility with a trail, it's not actually for us. It's for them, what's getting ready to come and what is getting ready to connect to. But to double back, spoke with Manny. Manny reached out to Keith. No respond back whatsoever. Um, and then we had a August 25th. I don't, like I said, I don't have my paper in front of me. With a calendar day, him to meet, and we were going to physically walk the trail. It's
Hold
a
on,
different
go back
view
because you broke up a little bit when you was talking about walking the trail. Go back a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Manny reached out to Key Station, and we had a date on the book. I believe it was August 25th, and he was supposed to join Sparks and myself and on that trail for a physical walkthrough from start to end, so I can point out these dead spots that's going to cause problems for people on that trail, safety issues. And he was a no call, no show, and to this day have not heard a peep from him or anybody else from the city on how they were going to proceed with securing the trail.
Right. Mm-mm-mm.
So I mean, as a Black woman, I'm very disappointed in that because, look, if our brothers can't look out for us as Black men, we don't stand a chance. And I'm grateful for you as well as the other ones that do take a stand and do put your face on the forward to let us know that we're protected. I walk at least 5 or 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the physical aspect of. I love how I get mental clarity from being out in nature and walking. And I had to wrestle and struggle with that as a Black woman out here walking because I want to be healthy. Like, do I take the risk of walking and something happen, or do I sit at home and keep being unhealthy and gaining weight and don't have that outlet to be able to release? And I made the decision like, hey, I'm gonna hit these streets and start walking. It's one of the most inexpensive forms of exercises, but one of the most beneficial ones. And I committed to myself that that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't want that. I did not want that to be an obstacle that I'm scared every day. And some of the other women who walk with me is like, Miss Celeste, one of the reasons why I don't go outside and walk because I'm scared, because every time I go around the corner, somebody's trying to pick me up or somebody's trying to get me in that car. And that story is just ongoing and ongoing and ongoing of Black women who have that same story.
Wow, and you got people in the comments agreeing. Niche, Janelle, she said, I agree. Anissa said facts. And, you know, the Hood Table said they need to bring bright lights and everything down there. And you spoke about that, and you spoke yesterday. Yep. Can you hear me?
You were chopping up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I said
So
that they
I didn't quite hear what you said.
Bring bright lights down there. And then you talked about having the BAA having some kind of security patrol down there. And so
absolutely.
I think those are things that we need to really talk about and make happen, because like you said, the safety of the women in our community, it has to be talked about and you know, some effort put into making sure y'all protected if you want to walk.
Here's the thing. Once we get our women out walking, and my invitation is always open to anybody and everybody. I've had women from Bellevue come and join me on a walk. I've had women from Papillion come all the way over north and join me on walks. And we just engage in conversation of how to do things better and how to be healthier. Because once we change that mindset and we start getting healthy, the women are the ones who cook. The women are the ones who, you know, kind of set the home. You know, and so when we get healthy, we bring our families on board. We bring our husbands and our partners on board. We bring our children on board. We're reaching into multi-generational of the community of getting people healthy.
Right.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that start with us. If we're healthy, that's going to automatically be a residual benefit to the community.
Right. And I think too, that's why you know, once we got to diving into Spencer and seeing all the stuff going on around it, and with the new development, I do want to show them this video of this homeless camp real quick that we stumbled upon that was over there. Give me just a moment.
There's a lot of homeless people here in North Omaha, and they're right about
There
that
it
sex
is.
trafficking. That goes on a lot here too. And we're right by the river, right by the interstate, and you can go to another state within minutes, just crossing over a
We
bridge.
came here during one of our searches for Mr. Blake. I brought his son to a familiar place. The off the grid people.
Mr. Blake is who they were looking for in the projects, those abandoned projects. He's an elderly man with health issues, been missing for months.
I was hoping that it wasn't still going to be here with all this new development, you know, but that wasn't the case.
Definitely not affordable for most North Omahans.
To my surprise, not only was it still here, things has gotten worse. It's the North Omaha that don't nobody talk about. I wonder how many people even know this place exists.
That is sad. Look at all those clothes. Tells you how many people are living out there. This is our city. Homelessness definitely doesn't come in any particular color or poverty.
Okay, so I mean, like I said, I don't know how many people even know that place existed, Miss Celeste. And that's right across the street from this new development that that's supposed to be affordable housing, and you got people right across the street living like that. And then across the bridge, then you have Spencer East, wide open, looking like that. And like I said, I believe it was an attempt to wait for something to happen, so then everybody can hop on the news. I want to give them a brief clip from yesterday's meeting. I'm gonna individualize yours, so I gotta send you a copy, but my phone doesn't had I'm out of storage, so I need to be able to screen record your segment, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can post it. I was able to get some of that lady segment and then some of mine. So yeah. But is there anything that you want to say about that homeless camp? Did you bring that up to anybody ahead of time too?
Yeah, actually, um, I'm so proud of Bowie. Bowie was the tall young man that stood up and talked and said that him and his family and his dad ride their bikes and walk that trail. He was towards the end. He is the new, I believe, director of Sparks. I'm down here by Spencer now, and I just came that way just to see. I don't see no movement, no activity.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing. But Bowie, when he became the new director of Sparks, he contacted me because he knew I had, okay, there's a TV. The TV people is down here.
The TV people down there, they must be about ready to start.
Yeah, the TV people are the only ones down here right now. But he reached out to me after he became the new director of Sparks, and he wanted to know, had anybody done anything or tried to move the conversation forward and take action on safety on the trail, and I told him not. And he asked me, would I be willing to meet with him to discuss and to see what he can do to help. So he's kind of like a quiet, unsung hero in this, as far as I'm concerned, because he got the wheel started in Sparks and even got his staff to take the wheel and get with you and to get with I and to contact the TV stations. Mm-hmm. He sure did. He sure did.
And Clarice, oh my gosh, them is brilliant young ladies, man. We're gonna do a lot of stuff together. So yeah, you're right. I mean, especially with them two ladies, they are amazing. Even though, and Manny too, you know, you didn't see them in the paper and in the story, but definitely the information helping us stay on track. Because you know, we go off track sometimes because there's a lot of stuff we mad about, but they help keep us on track. So yeah, let me read some of these terms. She said they don't care about our kind. They only do this in North Omaha. This is dead wrong. We pay enough taxes. Precious said, breaking news, Governor Jim Pillen's administration decided not to participate in the new summer child nutrition program worth $18 million to Nebraska kids. Wow. Yeah, let me play. I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip from City Council because they asking, well, how did the meeting go yesterday? Which we all knew that before we even got done with the meeting, what these people do is they use their media. So this is why we have our media. They use their media. So once they found out that Celeste and I had did the story because it was front page, they jumped into action. And before we could even finish the city council meeting, they sent Channel 7 down to Spencer East and did a story saying the demolition is going to start tomorrow. So to make it seem like they're not reacting to what we said and to try to be ahead of the story coming out that, yeah, we got down there, it was a unanimous decision, and they decided that they're going to start the demolition now because when they asked both Celeste and I if they demolish it, if they demolish it, it's going to be in March. And we both said that's unacceptable. Now, y'all have to remember, they try to tell you, well, this is how the paperwork goes. This is how things work. And we, as people, we don't care how it worked in your system. We said we want it done now. So we didn't take how it goes.
Not now, but right now.
So yesterday, we went down there, and before we even got to testify, they already had a story out saying that they were going to start the demolition tomorrow. So, but we still don't believe it until we see it. So we definitely got to make sure that we holding them accountable for saying what they're going to do. And the mayor is out. And so Pete Festerson is the acting mayor. And so Pete, like, I'm going to get this done right now. So I do want to share this video real quick. Precious said, so what I took from the news, I thought was bulldozers would be this morning. Well, that's what they said.
That is what they said was supposed to happen, but that is what they said that was supposed to happen. They was going to start this morning.
Yep, and Bree said we got to be on him every day about the demo, or it's never going to happen. You absolutely right, and that's why we wanted to let y'all know so far where the progress is, because we didn't know who was all paying attention or not. But so yeah, I'm gonna play some of this real quick for y'all, and then give me just a second here. Okay. All right, here we go.
We are also frustrated at the condition of the property. When we became aware of the dumping that has been taking place, I immediately followed up with the individuals that were responsible for going down to that property and making sure regularly on a daily, if not, more often if we receive more complaints basis, to make sure that that property is taken care of. And that wasn't happening. That person no longer works for our organization. It's important that we take care of the property and that we have responsibility in place to do so, that there's accountability on our organization and to make sure that the dumping is not taking place. Property has been cleaned up. There were manhole covers that were missing. It really didn't make a lot of sense to try to replace manhole covers that will be stolen again and used for scrap like the current ones were. We were able to locate heavy duty plastic manhole covers, which arrived today. We were able to expedite shipping. And so those were arrived today and installed today. So we're working to address those issues as well. If there's any additional questions, I'm happy to answer those. I will mention too, I believe it's been communicated, but we are working closely with the police department as well, addressing issues that are there. We have worked with the police department throughout demolition on Spencer West and then also on Spencer East. I've not received any follow-up on any concerns the police department have. Obviously, it's extensive vandalism that's happened at the property, but there hasn't been significant involvement in the community contacting the police department yet. We're certainly encouraging the community to do so if they see anyone on the property.
Thank you. Sherman Wells, 4718 Kansas Avenue. I'll put this up here while I'm talking. Is the thing on? Okay. That is a picture I took yesterday of Spencer East on my way home from a meeting about coming to this meeting. There you see 2 business trucks with 3 white men with a portable saw cutting out pipes and cutting down the things that people use to hang their clothes on for scraps, clotheslines. And when I pulled up, he came over to me and said he's a scrapper. And it was getting closed anyway. And he asked me, was I from the city? And I told him, no, do what you do. I just wanted to see what you were doing. That first black truck pulled right off. And the guy in the red truck, he came over to me. And as you can clearly see, this is a white man. This is not a member of our community. He told me he wasn't from the area. And so the belief that the community has been stealing the fencing and going in that property is untrue. And we have no use for those scraps, the window seals and the things that were missing. So I'm going to say evacuating Spencer East and abandoning it without proper boarding created a hazardous situation and an eyesore for our community. Unfortunately, this is not an isolated occurrence. It's a pattern observed in many Black communities across America. It serves as a method to instill a sense of mental hopelessness, especially for those who are already grappling with poverty, violence, or incarceration amongst friends, which we know in Omaha, we have one of the highest rates of incarcerating Black men and children, but that's another story. Witnessing the neglect of Spencer East further enhances the despair, playing into a larger agenda to suppress Black America. While I don't give that much thought credit to 75 North or OHA or this council to be a part of a grand scheme in America or North Omaha, it appears there was an assumption that North Omaha would tolerate the building sitting abandoned until March. But let's be honest, look at 24th Street, the once thriving business district, compared to other prosperous areas like Blackstone, Old Market, Dundee, and South Omaha. I mean, really, there's no comparison. The economic downturn in our district since the tragic death of my descendant, Vivian Strong, it goes largely unaddressed by the North Omaha leadership. So why would people who don't live in our district think they're doing anything wrong since the masses of the citizens tolerate this fake business district, or should I say nonprofit district? And in their minds, it seems acceptable to OHA, 75 North, and anyone else involved, any leadership, to leave this abandoned building without proper security measures, situated in the poorest zip code with a high concentration of sexual predators. The prevailing sentiment appears to be waiting for an incident to occur so they can react to it, engage in a photo op or a news story discussing federally funded programs designed to prevent such occurrences, and then return to a state of inaction. However, this time, that approach is no longer acceptable. If addressing this council and other officials become necessary to shed the light on the mistreatment, the microaggressions, and the systematic racist oppression faced by the citizens of North Omaha, I am prepared to do so. Disrespectfully, because respect is earned and is not freely given. Well, because she said that there's been no public complaints. Well, the person that Miss Butler was saying that she complained to and no showed on us when we did ask someone from the city was Keith Station. And so Spark reached out to him. So it's not the point of there's no, complaints on record. It just nobody was taking it serious. And to be honest, if you demoed the west side, the development shouldn't have started on either side until both sides was demolished. And so I think that's just a poor excuse to say why nobody did nothing about it. Surprised her nose didn't grow through that mask.
Shout out to Sherman showing that video of those white guys stealing and scrapping down there at the projects while they was blaming it on our black community for being the ones involved in that. I'm so glad he had that good old bean footage.
Oh man, that was too funny. Mr. Les, we lost you. Where you at? Oh my gosh. You know what? And maybe that might have been uncalled for, but you know what? I am surprised her nose didn't grow through that mask. And it's on the record. So we just done playing games, man. I mean, North Omaha, we are a very spiritual and powerful group of people. And if you understand that, then you would know why they attacked us in 1919 during the Red Summer. There were specific cities that they targeted with the revolutionary spirit. And Omaha was one of them. Chicago. It was the place where the highest concentrated of revolutionary Black people were. And before they killed Vivian and left 24th Street all demolished, we attacked everything. We never played the game when somebody did something around here. But once they shot Vivian in the back of the head, she was 14, shot her in the back of the head. Not only did the officer not get charged, then he turned around and was able to come back to the community. And then it was just no more business. Everything remained the way it still looked right now. Before it was thriving, there was all kind of riots and uprisals. They didn't play the game. Man, I don't know what happened, but we can get back to it. We are still here. Brother Meyer, like all these people, there's so many people right now in the community that is standing up for truth. And we don't care about the feelings. And clearly, if you look at her face, she rolled her eyes after I said that. But I mean, it's true. You're lying so much that I'm surprised your nose didn't grow.
A poor excuse to say why nobody did nothing about it. Surprised her nose didn't grow through that mask. A poor excuse to say why nobody did nothing about it. Surprised her nose didn't grow through that mask.
When I got done with it, I'm like, why did I say that? But guess what? I don't even care now. It's said and done. Yeah, don't sit up here lying to us saying that the community didn't complain or nobody complained, and that's why nobody did nothing and nobody knew about it. And the narrative that we're going in there stealing all the stuff, no. These are white people who's contractors and they come in with their equipment. He had a portable electric saw. I mean, I'm not saying we can't afford it or have it, but it wasn't us. I mean, I took his picture. I didn't take it from the front. He had snot running down his nose trying to talk to me. I never even got out the car. But the people who he was with knew they was wrong. That's why they took off. So, yeah. But I'm not going to keep dragging this on. You know what? Because today I have a different meeting I have to attend about something else. And then I'm going to do another live this week. I normally don't do them so often, but I have to update y'all about Mr. Blake. And you're not going to like the news. Okay? I'm telling you now, you're not going to like what I got to tell y'all. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here. And you know, just if you take anything from this, take this, right? Bree, Clarice, Manny, Celeste, and the other people who was all involved push this past the envelope of what they said was expected to happen. We had to wait till March. We had to wait till they do the paperwork. Had to wait until all this crossing of the T's and dotting the I's, and before it could happen, all that had to be done. But now you went on record and said you're going to get it started ASAP just because these few people said something. Recognize the power that we have in this community, and everybody is a piece of the power grid. So whatever you do, do it to the fullest. If you're the businessman like Myron, do it to the fullest. If you the hustle girl like Shawnee, do it to the fullest. Because when we come together, the machine is so big and unstoppable, nothing can stop us. But as long as it's 1 and 2 people, you know, in history, they'll eliminate people in public. So that way it hurts the spirit of the people. And then we lose our traction. But we can't be like that. We got to be like the Taliban. People are right there, all kind of leaders and voices and people that's going to do stuff and be right for our community. And we stand on truth and love. And we get all of our power from God. So we don't need to worry about protection, but we do have protection with the BAA. So if you notice what's happening, this is not like some it's just happening because of reaction to things. No, it's what we've been planning. It's just now we have to implement it and see how it works. And right now it's going to work, and it's working more because we have more and more people stepping forward and taking on what you're supposed to in your life. I mean, there is a time to enjoy your human life. And then there's a time where you got to do stuff to make sure the people coming behind you got a chance at being successful. Okay. All right, man. I love y'all. Y'all stay up. And like I said, the next time you see me, I'm going to be updating y'all about Mr. Blake. And it's not going to be something you like, but it's something you need to know because we can't keep letting people lie to us. All right. Peace.
Yeah, shout out to Sherman. Sherman, I've been knowing Sherman since, oh God, child, high school? Yeah, high school, way back, back in the day. And he has been a very dedicated, outspoken community activist in our community. We appreciate him for that. And as I said in his chat, thank you for your dedication to our community, your hard work, and for staying on top of these people, for keeping your foot on these neck when it comes to community issues that they don't want to address, such as those projects that should have been torn down a long time ago. Now, for those of y'all who are not from this area, there has been a lot of revitalization to the North 24th Street area, to the North 30th area, of North Omaha, where it's predominantly, Black African-American people living here. And one of those projects that they had around the city, starting back way like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, was the Spencer Projects. And they called them the Omaha Spencer Homes. And it was a public housing that was built in the late 50s. And they said its teardown will close a more than 60-year chapter for the area. Now, this news story happened in 2022, where they said, it was supposed to be a demolition going down in that area, but it still hasn't. And not only has it not been demolished, but as you saw from the pictures in the video, people are scrapping it. People who don't live in our neighborhood, people with construction companies, what do you call them, contractors, they're in broad daylight. If there were security measures down there, they wouldn't be doing it, but in broad daylight. And then when they come down here and do that to our community, and they come from these richer, nicer neighborhoods, it does make it seem like that we're crawling through the night, scrapping at the projects and stuff, when they're doing it in broad daylight with their trucks and cars. And I'm so glad to Sherman. Kudos for getting that good old bean footage and saying what you had to say and standing up for us down at the press conference or at the meeting down there. And I love what he said about that lady. He was like, man, if she kept on lying, I'm surprised her nose didn't grow like Pinocchio under her face mask. Did you see her look on her face? Child, when I first saw that video the other day that Sherman uploaded, see, they didn't play that part on the news. They ain't gonna play that part on the news, because she was embarrassed. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they'll be demolishing those real soon, because y'all saw the closing, the trash, the dumping, the scrapping over there. and no windows, doors wide. I mean, kids in the area can just go through there. Anybody can go through there. And like they're saying, Omaha is one of the, we right in the center of the map. Omaha has always been big on transportation back in the day, telecommunications, the stockyards. I mean, just so many things have came out of this area. And sadly, one of those things also is, trafficking. We're right on the border of the river, Missouri River, aka the Mighty Joe, that goes all the way down to the SIP. And also, the railroad, Council Bluffs, Iowa, it's just a jump over, the bridge downtown. So that is also, a situation, an ongoing problematic situation here in our area as well. So I'm really hoping they'll take care of that area. They'll tear it down. We have no idea what they're going to build there next. Hopefully we will find out soon. Maybe Sherman will get that information because he did request it, and hopefully he'll update us with that as well. But other than that, the trails, Miss Celeste. And Miss Celeste, she used to dance on our dance team, a step above the rest dance team, the line dance, hip hop line dance team that I was on. She used to be dancing on there as well. So that's where I know her. We used to work out at the YMCA together. We used to have walking groups back then, and I see she's still out there walking. But yes, I know her as well. But she was, stressing that we do need safety measures as well because of the trafficking over there at the new trail that goes down through North Omaha by those abandoned projects, which is going to lead all the way down to the riverfront, to the Lewis and Clark riverfront. They have security measures down there. I said that in Sherman's chat. They have security measures down there where they built the new park, the new landing, the new trails. It's so bright down there. They got the skating rink. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous down there. I got to give kudos to the city for that. But when it comes to back up this way, the trails that's going to eventually lead down there, they need more security measures because we are still in the hood. Like, we might have trails. They might be building all these new houses and all that kind of stuff and trying to really get us out of here, trying to move a lot of people down here. And they have been doing that successfully. But it's still part of the hood, and we still want security measures for the people like Celeste, people who might be elderly, women, young or old for that matter, but, walking in the morning, late at night, in the evenings, who want to walk when they ever have a chance. And yeah, I mentioned the bright lights. They need bright lights down there among other things. But I'm hoping for that as well. As far as Mr. Blake, we have mentioned several times, and Sherman had mentioned several times, that he's still missing. We're still looking for him. His family, oh my God, his family have been worried from day one and stressing about this, that their loved one has not been found yet. So he did say he was going to update us on that as well. And he did say, we are not going to like what we're going to hear. And so I'm like really anxious to find out and, watch that update. So I'm hoping he do that soon. Today was also the court date of, the little girl that Ramaya, the little girl who we had did a story on, a few weeks back, the one who was left in a daycare van on a very, very hot summer day. We had talked about it then, and then we had did a little update a few weeks ago. And there's supposed to be court today, I think preliminary or something like that. It's supposed to be today. So hopefully I'll get some information on that and update you guys on that. Because as some of you know, a little girl, Ramaya, a toddler, she was 1 year old. She was left in her car seat on a very hot day, strapped in a daycare van at a daycare. And she passed away. And so the the van driver, he was arrested. He was charged. And the daycare hasn't been charged. And nobody from the daycare, not from the van driver, nobody has talked to the family, said they're sorry, made any apologies, offered to pay for any services, refund for any bills or nothing. They haven't said anything. The daycare doesn't take responsibility, even though the van driver, he didn't have a license. He had a license, but he wasn't on their insurance. He wasn't even on their payroll. They were paying him under the table. Therefore, the city, they had no idea that this man was working there. No background checks, anything like that. And the daycare still don't want to take any responsibility. Good morning, Deanna. How you doing? You said good morning at work supporting. Thank you for tuning in, my love. I'm over here on lunch. I'm on my lunch break, but about to wrap this up soon so I can go back to work. But anyway, so I will update you on the Ramaya, the little girl who passed away due to negligence from a daycare van driver, and also Sherman is going to update us pretty soon on the the disappearance of the elderly man, Mr. Blake, who, like we said earlier, he has serious health conditions. It's been so long since he has been missing, and it's just so sad. It's just so sad, and I just pray that they will when they do find him, they will find him alive. But other than that, Deanna, I'm waiting on you to go live as soon as you get a chance. I know you're gonna come over here and do a little commentary on the stomp down situation. I know you is, and I'm looking forward to that, child. But anyway, you guys, thanks for tuning in today to this update, this press conference, the city council meeting. Again, this is a local story, a local issue for our neighborhood, our community. And again, the hood table, we cover everything from the hood to the White House and beyond. So for the people who tuned in, who's not even for the community, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening. And please, if you feel like it, like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the Hood Table if you haven't been already subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. And if you want to bless your girl with a little something, something for the commentary, or just show a little love. My birthday is in about a week. It's the 29th. So if you want to show a little love, Cash App $, the Hood Table 402. And on that note, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out.